Morning. It's day 30, and gosh, I look like I've aged 5 years, maybe even 10. Stress does that, huh? Man, this is a hard process. I really don't want to believe that, and especially because the world, makes it seem like it's so much easier than it actually is. But in reality, it's more than just you have a plan and you stick to it. I would love it if it was just that, because then I could do it. But there are years of just unhealthy habits and ways that I have convinced myself, of what I need that I really don't. My weaknesses are being revealed, which I don't like, because I don't like to be weak. I mean, really my entire life, I've felt like I'm just a walking failure, in this area. And it was always so frustrating to me that this was an area I struggled with, because it wasn't something that I could really hide, because my weight was obvious. And I mean, part of that is just my pride, that I didn't want anyone to know that I was weak or that I lacked control. So, I mean, part of that is sin. But there is that desire of just, I just want to live a complete life, a healthy life. But I don't know, really praying through this and giving it to the Lord, and just, I'm begging for freedom in this. Because it's not just deny yourself. That's part of it. That absolutely is part of it. Learning how to deny myself. But it's more than that. It's working through why I got to this point. And just those deep roots of the things that I believe, the lies that I believe, they've just been surfacing. And whoever's watching, if anyone's watching, some of you, this may totally click and make sense. To others, it's like, where did this come from? You seemed fine yesterday. Well, everyone's, I guess, got their own journey, and it's ever since I started this, there has just been, it's been the slow progression of these things, coming to the surface. Like when you refine, gold, metal, the impurities float to the surface after you heat it up. And that's just what it feels like. That as I've continued to get heated in this refining process, all of these impurities, all of this gunk is coming to the surface. And I don't know why I'm surprised. I mean, years of dealing with this, there's got to be a lot of gunk, right? And I've had such a hard time getting the weight off and keeping it off. So why am I surprised that this is a difficult process? I think it is that I've just been trying to just do it. I'm just like, all right, I just want to keep it simple. It's almost like I don't want to deal with the baggage. I don't want to deal with the hard stuff. I don't want to admit my weaknesses. I want to admit them within my own control. I noticed that this morning, that I'm willing to say, oh, when I'm weak, God is strong. But to experience it and to let others see when I'm in those moments is really hard. it's hard to let people see that ugliness and that pain that you don't want to admit you have, because you feel so weak, you feel so vulnerable, like you can become a target for other people to look down upon, make fun of, whatever it is. I mean, like, what the heck? What am I, a middle schooler now? Like, why does that matter? Anyway, it's interesting how I know God is at work in this process, but I really wish I could skip over all this emotional crap, to be honest. I really wish I could, but I can't, because it's part of it, and I'm not gonna find that change unless I go through it. So my encouragement to you is, if you really want the change, you gotta go through it. You gotta go through the fire of refinement to remove those impurities. Otherwise, those deep roots, that gunk is just gonna stay there, and it's gonna keep making it hard for you. And there may be times where you could go for a good while and you feel good and you feel like you've got a flow, but it always catches up. It always will. And that's been something that I've really wrestled with, is like, I'm on day 30, and to be honest, I'm pissed that I still feel like I haven't found my groove. And I mean, yeah, we got sick. That really threw me off. But even that, I'm mad about that. I'm mad that I couldn't get back on, like on that same track of motivation that I felt like I had when I started. But after praying through it this morning, I was just kind of realizing that maybe that was God's way of showing me, like, when you set your mind to something, you can do it. So know that, but we need to work through all of this gunk first. And then you can see that once you've surrendered all of these areas to me, you can just move forward and it'll happen. I don't know. I don't know anything, guys. This is just me. This is raw, ugly, real. One shot take me. And I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie to myself. I don't want to lie to you. If anyone's even listening, this is a hard process, but I know it's worth it. I know I'm going to be thankful when I look back on this, 2 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. I trust that. I trust that the Lord is working in this, and that it's for the long haul.